Hey guys,
I hope you can all hear me. Good morning to one and all present here. And so, the first thing that I want you people to do is post your name and also your roll number so that we know that you're here. So, let's just get started. I'm pretty excited to be here. First of all, I'm really happy to have this opportunity. Thank the management, your wonderful staff, and also you guys for giving me this opportunity. I'll keep it short, uh, like probably speak for half an hour, then have some question sessions, but it'll be useful. And this is not a great way to communicate. Everything is live, then it's fine, but you know, it might be difficult for us to communicate like this, but still, I know you guys are listening, and so just post your name and your roll numbers on the chat box so that we'll know that you're there. And also, it's really nice to meet you all. Yeah, I'm so happy about it. And so I think you can all see my screen now. So today I'm going to talk about life and communication skills. Okay. So usually people will talk communication in a whole new level. That is like they make it into a subject. They don't think it's part of life itself. They think it's like a subject, but that's not how it works. If you really want to improve your English, if you really want to do something about your life, then both should be together. That's what I'm going to talk about today. So, hope to get started. So, first question to you all. Simple question. Are you all happy? How are you doing? Is life treating you good? So, you can put your answers in the chat box. So, I don't want to be like, I don't want one way of communication. I can see your chats, so you can just post it in the chat. How is your life? And how are things going on? Probably we'll have a very few seconds of delay. So I'm just checking out if thing is fine. No replies? Okay, I can see. So I got one reply, so that's great. Whatever it is, we will talk about it in a short time. Okay, so let's just start with the session. Today we're going to talk about life and communication skills. So the first thing that we are going to deal with is the levels of communication, and then from that we'll go on with what are the tips, tricks, and planning that you should do to improve your communication. So this is what we're going to do today. So let's just get started. Now, first thing is the levels of communication. Okay, in case you are studying Chinese, Japanese, any language for the matter, these are the five levels of communication that you should know. And that's very, very important that you know these five levels of communication. So the first one is called rookie. Rookie basically means a beginner stage, right? You might have played video games and all in that. You might have seen this word called rookie. That is the starting stage. It's just like the beginner stage of it. So in any language, there will be a beginner stage to begin with. So in English, what do you think the beginner stage is? What is it? So probably it's the alphabet, right? So it's the A B C D. I'm pretty sure most of you know this. So you have covered this part, and I don't think anybody needs introduction to basic English. That's your alphabet or knowing your sound systems and all that. So those things are not really important right now because we are going to go to other stuff. So let's talk about first one's the rookie stage. I know you have all crossed the rookie stage, and I don't think anybody is still in that stage. Otherwise, you wouldn't have come to college. So I don't want to insult that. So let's get into the next one. Is the survival stage. Okay, let's just imagine this, right? What do you mean by survival? For example, I take you and I drop you in center of central London, and you have to catch a train. How do you get to the train? And but you're not so good with English. You're like okay with English. Some the words you can talk. You're haggard English, as you call it. And then how will you talk to that person? You would probably say like, uh, I train, how I go. So it's not proper, but still it's a way of communicating. And I'm pretty sure that he will understand you, but he might reply with his own accent. He might say, "Oh, cross the street, go on the tube, and you can get it." So his accent might be a problem for us, but still you'll make it back to India. So that's survival state. So the first stage is the rookie stage, and the second stage is the survivor stage. So I'm pretty sure that you guys can survive, no problem. Most of the students will have the problem with the third stage. That's first one is called the rookie stage, second is the survivor, and the third one is called manageable. Okay, now manageable is most of you, not everyone, but I'm pretty sure around like 90% of you will be in that stage. Okay, what do you mean by manageable stage? Manageable pretty much means you can talk in English, you can converse, but you can't continuously talk. The fluency part is problem, and then you will make a lot of mistakes, grammatical mistakes. So this is where most of you will be. So if how many of you are in manageable state? If you are in the manageable state, just say yes to the chat box so I will know that you are listening to me, right? So if you are in the manageable state, say yes. So we have seen three stages. That's the rookie stage, next one is the survivor stage, and then comes the manageable stage. So these are the states that we have seen, the levels of communication. Next one is the most important thing. Now, to get placed in a company, to get that job, to be more confident, then you need to go from manageable to fluency state. So that is the thing that we are going to talk about today. How do you go from manageable to fluency? Nobody teaches us that. They tell you, okay, read the newspaper, watch the movie, but how? How do you practice? What's the first stage? What is the second stage? What are the third stage? What are the fourth stage? So those things you have to do it. Okay, so first one is the rookie stage, and second one is survive stage, and the manageable stage. Now, this should be a goal. So most of you, not all, I understand some might be very good with that, but then most of you will be in the manageable state. I want you to think about it. Go from manageable to fluency. That's what is needed today. Okay, so in case you're wondering how to do it, I'll give you a plan, a simple action plan, so that you can take on and use it, right? It's just not principles and ideas, but a proper plan that you can use to get to the next level. Okay, now what do you mean by fluency? Fluency is pretty simple, right? That it's not the bombastic words. It's not like coming to class and telling, look how ebullient you are, or how flamboyant I'm feeling, or something like that. Using such bombastic words will not make any difference. Because communication at the end of the day is what I tell to you guys, and what you guys like. If you understand me and I understand you, that's the premise of good communication. That's it. That's all you want to do, right? In business setting, this is all we will be doing. Most of us will be doing. So that's very, very important. Now, So understand what I mean by fluency. Fluency is basically you guys having proper English without mistakes and without stammering anything, but talking it in a proper intonation. That would be fluency. Now, so set a goal. Your goal should be like, okay, I crossed the rookie stage, I crossed the survivor stage, and then, of course, I'm in the manageable. Now I want to get from manageable to fluency. This should be your aim and your objective. Next, what are you going to do? Next, let's also talk about mastery. How do you master something? Of course, there are many masters in that, so you can be master of so many things. But let's talk about mastery in English or any language. Of course, our mother tongue will be Tamil, but I don't think everybody's so good at it or something like that. We don't master it at a level like that. So mastery level takes different forms. So it's in different ideas, it's in different forms. So I'll give you two examples of it. One is the great Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln, this president of US, he was so good with language, but it was all self-acquired. He understood, he learned these things, and he learned it by himself, right? So that's very, very important. Like he was an autodidact. He didn't go to schools much. He read and he improved himself. That's also a good lesson for us. If you really want to do something, learn by ourselves. Okay. So what happens is the Independence Day speech. Like India, they got independence. If you learned your history of English literature, you would know that. So in Independence Day, it's a norm that the president gives a speech. Now he is so good at it that one particular day they're hoisting the flag, and he was supposed to give the speech. So he took out his big hat, he took out a paper from there, and he simply read out of it. It was a small sheet of paper. So he said, like, it's my duty to hoist the flag, but it is the duty of the people to keep it flying. Look how beautiful that is, right? So I was telling, look, yes, I will hoist the flag, but whose duty is to keep it flying? It's our duty. It's the people's duty. So how beautiful it is. So that's how masters use the language. The great poets, Shakespeare, Milton, all these guys were so good with language that they could start a revolt. They could start a movement. Then they are not forgotten. They didn't do anything extraordinary, by the way, but still, they were so good with words that we revere them yet till this day. We feel that they are great. Why? Because they were masters of the language. So, if you think about it, language is so powerful. If you can master it, then you're going places. But if you don't, if you're naive and you're thinking, why should I study? And another simple thing is English is language, but most of us will think it's just a language, but English is also an access to many cultures, ideas, principles that we wouldn't have thought about. Of course, we have a rich literature and all that, but English has this way of taking things from everything and showing it. So if you can master this one, you get access to the entire world. So that's one big advantage. So have a goal from manageable to fluency. Of course, mastery comes with a lot of experience and time. It takes time. Okay, any great thing will take time. If quick fixes are not the way to go about, quick fixes never work. Understand that quick fixes will never work. So our job as young people is to go from manageable to fluency. That is what it's important, and that's what we will be talking in the next slide. Okay, here are some harsh truths that I want to tell to you guys. Okay, most of the speakers, most of the teachers, and people, they used to give this advice that you have to study grammar, you have to read newspaper and all that. But my question is simple, pretty simple. How many years have you been studying grammar? Right from your school, right? If grammar was the way to ace a subject or to be very good with communication, then by now everybody should be talking very good English. But that's not the case, right? That's not the case. So there's a problem. The problem is it's not grammar, it's the way we learn grammar. That's very important. So grammar will not help with communication, but the other way around will help out. See, think of English as a bike. A bike, most of us, if we know how to ride it, how to take a ride in it, then it's clear. It's just nice. Okay. So I don't need to know about the engine. I don't need to know how it works and all. But if I know how to balance it, how to ride it, that's enough, right? The same way, if I know how to talk about a language, that's fine. But the nitty gritty parts, the engine parts, they are the grammar parts that eventually we will learn. So, like the kids, study like the kids. They do it like everything by imitation. So that's how comes the LSRW method. So listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Why? Why do we have it in that format? Why do we have listening first and speaking, then reading and writing? How do we have that? As you are a kid, you're just born, and your mom brings you big Ren and Martin book, places in front of you and says, "Hey kid, today we're gonna study grammar." I don't think anybody learned language that way. Did any of you guys learn language that way? I really don't think so. How did you learn? You just listen. That's the first skill, listening. If you listen more carefully, then you start with one syllable, like ma. Then you go with two syllables, mama. Then you start talking, mama. இதை வாங்கிட்டு வா, அதை வாங்கிட்டு வா. So basically, you start. That's how it starts. You start with one syllable, two syllables, sentences, paragraphs, essays. It's a never-ending process. That's how we learn stuff, right? So grammar, of course, once you imitate, once you learn that, the other parts come into play. You know it naturally. You know these are the things that will happen and stuff. So one easy tip I'll tell you is not to learn words separately. Don't learn like this is a good word, this is a good word. No, how will you know when to use it, where to use it? Always learn phrase, learn the entire sentence, how to use, like it posts cats and dogs, how to use it in a sentence. If you're simply learning words, you won't know the context, you won't know how to use it. So always learn phrases, not the words. Even if you want to learn that word, use it, learn it using a phrase. That's the best way you can do that, right? Now, and I already pointed this out, imitate. Imitate as much as possible. Now, if you're watching TV series, movies, or anything like that, then we just tend to look at it and go off. But that's not how you acquire language. See how they talk, their body language, the intonations used. Study that. That's the most important thing. Just watching that movie or TV series will not help you. You have to basically understand like how it's said, what context it's said, how it's said. Then you practice it. People now just see that and go off. No, you have to practice it again and again and again. Then it becomes natural. You're very good at it. So that's how you do it. Now, as I've covered the 5 levels, so what is our aim? Our aim and our objective is to go from um, the manageable to fluency. Now, how do you do that? Okay, that one I'll talk in the next slide. Okay, so how do you do that? Pretty simple stuff. Now, this plan, I've been using it for like 7, 8 years, and it has helped a lot of my students, and this will help you as well. So make a plan, basically on a sheet of paper. If you're sophisticated, an app, do anything like that, right? So make a plan, a personal development plan to improve your language. Because of language, your thinking becomes better, you become articulate, and you can express your ideas better, right? So divide four columns. First one would be listening, reading, writing. Okay, so L. Why I've not included speaking is because speaking cannot be taught. If I'm giving 50 books on swimming, can you can you swim? No, that's not the point. You jump into the water and you start like swimming, learning with process. That's how speaking is. All because you have all the grammar books. Harvard professor, Oxford professor will not help you in any way until you take responsibility and you speak. That's the only way you're going to improve speech, right? So first one is listening. Now, what are the things you should listen to? Of course, listen to a lot of personal development stuff, stand-up comedies, and a lot of audiobooks. This will help you a lot, right? So I listen to a lot of podcasts like Art of Manliness, Daily Strike, Must My First Million. They have a lot of original content. It's not only the content, but it's also the ideas. The ideas, the way they express it, the way they tell it, the jokes, the slangs, the phrases. You will learn all of those from just listening to these podcasts. And audiobooks, of course, audiobooks are great. Especially go with dramatic audiobooks. That is like two, three people reading it, having music. It's a great thing. It's a great experience that in your mind you'll create a movie. That's a great experience. So listening is vital. Okay, can you listen? You can listen anytime. While you're on the bus, you're coming to college, it takes 20 minutes, going back, anytime. Fix a time, at least I just ask 10 minutes of it every day. Do it 10 minutes, just 10 minutes of talk, ideas. Just listen to it or watch stand-up comedies. Why stand-up comedies? They don't have any props, they don't have any visuals, videos. They just stand there and talk. That's a great skill to stand and talk. That's a great skill to keep everybody intact. That takes a lot of effort. So if you can watch these guys and how they are doing it, then that's great. So that's the first part. That is the listening part. Next one is the reading part. Now, I'll go a little bit deeper on it, but it will be useful. As I already covered listening and then speaking, I said there's no other way but to speak. And now comes the reading. This is my best skill. I mean, this is my favorite skill. You should know. So, reading, if you think about it, like anyone in the world, any successful man, they would have read and read and read and read. They're very good at it, right? Why? You see any kind of rich house, they'll have a library. It's not for the show. That's how they learn things. It's like a shortcut key. A 1,000 years of experience, business ideas, money ideas, philosophic ideas. They wrote it, kept it aside. But we are so lazy to go take it and learn from those experiences. We are still foolish. We think like, okay, I will live. I will, because we don't have time. We don't have so much of experience. But somebody had already done it. They have written a book about it, how they started that business or how they achieved that, how they overcame that failure. They have written so many things. We can learn from that and avoid that, but we will not do that, right? We want to get hurt, we want to be fail, and then it's a great way. Somebody thought about it and wrote about it, and all we have to do is read it and try to incorporate in whatever you want to do. So reading is a must. Every day, read, read, read. So I would suggest start small, make it a habit. Okay, start very very small. If you are not reading, start with comics, picture books. Slowly you get into short stories, then novels, non-fiction books, anything. You just upgrade yourself. But read. How do you start? Maybe start with one page every day, or start 5 minutes every day. Whatever works for you. But start. Keep reading. And also, reading helps us to stay away from digital things. So these days, We are obsessed with social media. We sit with long hours, but reading can actually limit that. It can put your mind into a peaceful kind of state. It lets you rest. You don't want to be, um, your mind is not like working in a monkey sort of way. That's what is happening. So reading has this all these benefits. So I would say that you read and read. And next one is write. Writing a journal or a diary is a great thing. And in college, take as many as photos possible. Write about these things because these things will never come back. The college life is never going to come back. So there should be a way for you to record those things because these memories will matter someday. So it's better for you to start writing about it daily or take a pic or use apps like Day One. Day One is a great app. You can write about it, take photos, and keep that every day. And every year it shows on this day, like Google, Google Photos. This will show you on this day you did this, you did this, you did that, and all that. So it's pretty much so useful. So write a diary or so every day set aside 15 minutes, at least start with 5 minutes, 5 minutes of listening, then read something, anything. At least start with 10 minutes or just one page, wherever, whatever you can, right? Start something and then write every day, write. Put it in a sheet of paper. Put tick marks if you have done it. And then build in something, have a blog or have a channel or somewhere to share these things. What you've listened to, what you have read, what you have written. This will help you to improve your language. And you won't read it just for reading sake. You won't listen just for reading sake, listening sake. You want to share it with other people and you get better at it. The more you share and share and share, the better you will become. So this is a great plan that you can follow. And if you want to have a friend along with you to share these things, it's great. They can see like, okay, I have listened today, I have read today, I have written today. What have you done? Have you done these things? If both of you have done or not done, you can have a prize. Okay, if we are going to follow this for the entire week and we both do it, let's go have a coffee or let's go have an ice cream. It helps. It helps. Instead of, you know, yes, friends are great, but friends should push you harder, right? They have to improve and you have to improve. Have such kind of friendships. Just not friends who hang out in the good times, not during the growth times. You should have friends who actually push you forward, trying to do something better, trying to self-develop yourself. That's very, very important. So let's just talk about the next one. Okay, now let's come to the almost. I dwell deeply in those things, but I will keep it short and sweet so that it becomes more practical. Okay, so I think now my internet would be back to normal, I suppose. So, okay, now let's talk about life skills. So, first of all, be proactive. Yes, you might have listened to many speeches, you might have read a lot, you might have done these things. But at one point, you have to take responsibility. Is just an idea, or are you committed to whatever you want to do? Are you committed? Do you want to really achieve that thing? Then it's very, very important. So, being proactive is to take responsibility and to take the initiative. So, responsibility is you'll say, like, everything, whatever I can, whatever is in my power, I will do it. Then initiation, taking initiative is this. It's most of us in the society are reactive. Government is like this, school is like this, college is like this, professors are like this, my girlfriend is like this, my friends are like this. We always put the blame outside, but we never understand that we have all the power to take responsibility for our actions, the way we feel, and how we go about it. So that's being proactive. And for college students, taking the initiative is very, very important. If you think about it, if you have a goal, okay, I want to get placed in such and such a company, and my goal is so and so. So, what do you do? Do you simply while away the time wait for the placement department to give you the job or the company? No, you take the initiative, you put a plan. Okay, for a job, these are things required. I need to have a resume, I need to have these skills, I want to learn these things, I want to improve my language, I want to learn my interview skills properly, how do I introduce myself. These are the checklists that you should follow, and then start preparing it. Don't wait for others. That's called the initiative. So be proactive. This will help you throughout the life, and whether it's the language part or whether it's the job part or whatever it is, these are the most important things. And next, think about your strength, weakness, and the opportunities. Always match your strength and opportunity. For example, you're good with math, you can go something related with math. You're good with language, drama. What are the opportunities for that? Make a list of it and try doing that. If you're good at writing, start writing, make a blog, do something. If you're good with videos, start making videos. Make something. Only then you will learn. Don't just keep it in your mind and say like, okay, someday I will do it. No, someday I'll not do it. If you make some 100 bad videos, one video will be good. So that's how you learn. You write 100 bad pieces and one piece becomes good, you get published. So that's how it works. So don't just wait and wait and wait. Understand your strength, match it with the opportunity. Of course. Now what about weakness? Weakness, don't work on all the weakness, it's pointless. But if there's a weakness which is stopping you from matching your strength and opportunity, then work on that alone. Don't think like, okay, I want to improve this writing and all. No, that's not it. If your weakness is going to help you get the job, I mean stopping you from getting the job, then work on that weakness, right? The next one is always plan then learn. Okay, so that's a very important thing. Have a plan for whatever you're learning. What are the skills that's required? So then you learn. And finally, maintain it. That's very, very important, right? Maintaining is the most important part of it. It's like if I did one job for like 1 year, you'd be very good at it, right? But instead of doing that one job for like continuously throughout the day, that's not very efficient. So think about it in the long run. If I do this for 10 minutes every day, where will it take me? The same way, I have given you a plan. To begin with, this might not look great. It might not have great impact, but you can keep at it for like just 20 or 30. I mean, if you can do it for like 3 or 2 years, you will have great impact. It will have an awesome impact in your life. That's very, very important. Okay, so maintain these skills. So first of all, be proactive. Be proactive means take initiative, responsibility for whatever it is. Even right now, it's morning time. You might have. I heard sir tell that you wrote an exam. Proactive kids, right here. Some kids will be complaining like, "Oh my God, what is this? I have to listen." But some guys will be like, "Okay, I might learn something. This is useful. This might help me out." Those kids are proactive kids. So always be the proactive one. The world has enough negative people already, right? So be the proactive kids. And so next, college, please learn these skills. Of course, I don't have time to teach you this, but try to learn. We have Google, you have blogs. Learn to take notes. Whatever professor says, what you read on the book, what you listen, take notes, lots of it. Learn new softwares, take notes, keep it. So these will help you throughout the long run. Then time management is very, very important, right? Your life is made up of time. And if you can't manage it, then you're not managing your life. So it's better to learn like how do you manage it? How to efficiently use your brain. Sometimes your brain will be so fresh and energetic, and it can do better tasks. Know those times and do those tasks. Time management is a great thing. And then continuous improvement, which is very, very important. We think after college should not read, but even at the age after becoming billions and earning millions and billions of dollars, still Bill Gates reads every day, and he reads 52 books every year. Warren Buffett reads 500 pages. Ambani reads 6 books simultaneously. They might not tell it, but they're doing it daily. They're improving it. Because if you stop improving, you stop living at all, right? Because improvement is what gets us to the next level. So never stop. College learning, yeah, just the degree, but continuous learning, personal learning is what it's needed. So understand that and keep on learning new stuff. Now AI is coming, know about it, otherwise you will be lost, right? Learn more about it. So all these things we have seen, we have seen the levels of communication, and we have seen how do you incorporate into a plan, and we have seen some life skills which will help you in college. Of course, if it was a live session, we could have gone in a what to say a deeper manner. But for now, you can just watch this video again if you have any doubts, and use these things, right? Instead of just listening, use it. Even if it's short, I hope it was useful to you guys. And finally, you can follow me. I keep posting videos and things, and I have my own company. So you can follow me in my YouTube. And thanks for coming, and thanks for listening to this session. And if if you if you are you know if you think this was useful, or if you think your friends it would be useful, share it to them, subscribe as well, and any doubts or anything you can ask. Now maybe for another 5 minutes we got, uh, you can ask any questions you have. I'll try to answer them for you guys. I didn't want to take too much of your time because I know probably only 17 of them have joined as such. So I'll try to cover it in a short manner. If you have any doubts, you can ask. Any doubts, folks? I hope it was useful. You can this video will be available in that link. You can watch it anytime. You can tell your friends as well, right? If they have missed out on this. So and it is okay. Thanks, Manoj. Thank you for all of you coming out here and listening to it. I hope it was useful, as some of you have pointed out in the chat. Thank you for your time, and I once again thank you. Thank you, JD. I hope you guys keep rocking. I hope you go further and be blessed, guys. So I thank the management, especially my friend and principal sir and all the faculty for giving this opportunity. And also I thank my wonderful friend Lingesh for organizing this. Because thank you, man. Thank you, everybody. So see you all some other time. Thank you.